Okay, so welcome back to my lesson today. So let's continue our lesson in interactions of the ecosystems. So today it will include, well, two parts. The first part will be about resources, and the second it will be about competition, predation, and mutualism. Well, it seems like hard to understand, but when we dive into it, it might sound easily for us. Okay, so let's talk about the first part. First part will be about resources. So the resources in an ecosystem, it will include water, food, shelter, and oxygen to breathe. So those are the fundamental resources for an ecosystems. So if these resources it it's getting more every day, so the populations it will grow every day because there are enough resources for the animals to use. All right. So what about the limited resources? Well, limited resources sounds familiar to us when we talk about those things like fossil fuels. Well, when talking about the ecosystems, the limited resources also mean like that. It means like those kind of resources are not available in the endless supply. So it is not an endless resource, okay? It is limited. It's not infinite. So here, for example, like the water and maybe the shelter. Well, shelter here I mean like if some of the animals they have the shelters on the tree. So if the human beings cut down the tree, so well, there will be less shelters for the species. Or maybe about the water. So if the global warming is increasing, it will cause the severe droughts that lead to a water shortage. Now, this happens in many countries too, not only in the forest. All right. Now let's come to the second part. We will talk about competition, predation, and mutualism. Well, first off, I heard of it. There's no idea about it. But when we dive deeper into it, well, that's easy. That's easy peasy. All right. Now, first one, let's talk about the competition first. So, competition means like one species, for example, like one organism, it will compete with another competition for the same resources. For example, like the tigers and the lions. No, not that. For example, like, well, the an organisms, for example, like lots of organisms in a specific species have to compete with each other for the same resource. For example, like they are hunting deers, so they will compete each other to eat that deer. So that is the competition. About the predation, it's different, all right? It might be very bemused when you talk about the competition and the predation, but they are different. For predation, it's like the predatory interactions. You can see that there will be a predator and a prey. For example, like a tiger tries to catch a deer. So the deer is a prey and the tiger is a predator. So the deer doesn't attack the tiger at all. It's just like an organism attacks another organism. But that organism they like it doesn't attack back. So there's just one predator and a prey, which is an organism that is eaten. So that's the predation. Let's talk about the mutualism. Well, for the mutualism, it's not competition, it's not predation anymore. It will be about two organisms, well, it like it benefits each other. For example, like a nutcrackers and a white porcupine. So the nutcrackers eat the pines of the trees, but also the trees need the white nutcrackers to seed their plants. So that is the mutualistic interactions. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching very much.